Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen,
Yo,
the day has come. The day is here. The day the world has been waiting for.
yeah.
2018. I promise you, the world has hit me up and said, "What y'all been?" The world, literally, has hit us up.
Yeah.
And said, the literal world, and said, "What have y'all been doing? Where have y'all been? What's been going on?" So I said to the world, I called my man Paul and said, "The world asking." I said to the world, "We gonna do it." So we here.
You know,
My name is Adam Butler. That's Paul Spam.
Paul Blackman Span in this building right now.
And this is
MSR, Mindstream Radio, whatever you remember us as, and the people that are going to remember us from this point forward. MSR, Mindstream Radio, we are in the building.
live in the building. LT is in the building. What's happening, sir?
Going on, fellas? It's been a long time, and it's been a long time coming for this. So I'm glad that we, got back together, got on that grind, and we're gonna make it happen.
Yes, sir. Now, for the people that's been seeing all the previews, and we've been teasing this for a couple of months. Shouts out to everybody that's been showing love.
Yes.
It's actually been, and we could talk about this for a hot second before we get to what we're really going to talk about. It's actually been really heartwarming. All of the love that people have been giving, people that I ain't heard from in years, bro. Old guests, old co-hosts, old just friends of the show, hitting us up saying how happy they are that we coming back. It means a whole lot. Shout outs to everybody, man, that listened to this show, past, way back way in the past, all of that. You know what I'm saying, P?
Listen, in full transparency, our first show back was supposed to be all of us in the wonderful new studio that you'll see us in a few episodes from now. You're going to see all of us in a complete new environment and that. But your boy,
what happened, Paul?
Your boy caught the COVID.
Caught the vid.
Your boy caught the vid in Florida. Visited with with my grandson. So I personally delayed our debut inside the beautiful studio that you guys are going to see soon. So I'll take that on me, man. Mind you, I'm completely COVID free now. Go ahead, clap for me. All right, thank you.
Clap it up for my boy. I'm gonna put a clap track underneath of that.
Thank you. Yeah. So now we're just more than happy to be back. Like I said, we're gonna really look forward to debuting inside of the studio, but we're definitely happy to be back. And I apologize for the little kerfuffle.
And also, the whole crew is back.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. I know you're just seeing us three right here with LT got a real special role on the show. For those of y'all, by the way, that don't know LT, LT has been fam since, how long you been working with us, bro? Since like 2016, maybe?
Either 15 or 16. It's been 15 or 16.
Yeah, it's probably 15.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Leon. Shouts out to LT. LT was working behind. What's happening, Leon? Those guys, they work behind the scenes along with Jenny, in our crew behind the scenes. They kept this thing running. Shout out to Jenny. But shouts out to you, man. I hope you're doing good. TNT. But I we wanted to have a cooler role for LT. So LT is very much involved with the show in a different way. He's still behind the scenes, but he's in front of the camera and doing it. And you're going to see how the show's going to be a little different. Rolling a little bit different in the future. But I wanted to say that but the crew is back. So you're going to see Nargis. You're going to see Brother Smooth. You might see some other old crewmates.
Some blast from the past. Yeah, we got some stuff up our sleeve, man. Hey, man, shout out to Sleepy Chris, man. Hey, Chris, we love you, brother. We love you. Get with us at some point in time. We might need you, bro.
Shout out to Sleepy Chris. We talked to and for real, shout out to Sleepy Chris, man. We talked to pretty much everybody, but you're definitely going to see Nargis. You're definitely going to see Brother Smooth. This first episode back, though, we thought it would be appropriate to really let myself and Paul anchor it. If you don't know the history of MSR started off years ago, bro. I want to say like 2006. We started Mindstream Radio. Shouts out to Pretty Ricky Smith. our original co-host, and definitely the dude who came up with the name
Gave
Mindstream Radio.
us the name. Real talk. We gotta give that man his credit. Yeah.
Definitely came up with the name. We started on Blog Talk Radio, which was on the phones. We were dialing in. Shouts out to I'm for Radio and Rock the Flow. That was our first studio. Shouts out to Elite DC Radio.
Yes, sir.
Anwar, that was our second home.
Yes, sir.
And then obviously shouts out to Bliss.fm, aka Ideaplex, who we still rocking with to this day. Can't wait to get in the studio and work with Ron and all of the people. So MSR is, and we'll just jump into it and talk about why we bought this thing back. MSR is so special. Paul is like my best friend. Me and Paul been friends since college. We've been
this
is my boy. And when we first started working together at the open mics in PG, we knew we had a great working relationship. We tried to be record execs at one point.
Most definitely.
We tried to
a decent job.
We tried to be record moguls at one point.
Yeah.
But we've done so much work together. We've made movies together. We've done all sorts of cool stuff. But I think the coolest thing we've done is this show. And we had been rocking for 10 years straight. And that was an unofficial 10 years, if I'm being honest with you, because we didn't even count the 2 Blog Talk years. We just really counted our in-studio years, 2008 to 2018. And there was a little bit of burnout. This is, I'll just be honest. There was a little bit of burnout there. And then COVID happened. And then all of a sudden you look up and it's 7 years later and we had not done this show. After some conversations, man, we just realized that MSR my name is still MSR Adam on Instagram. I never changed. I've had 3 different shows since. Okay. And I never changed my name on there. So it was something there to it, man. So this is it. And it's not just me and Paul, but again, it's why I thought we should just do this particular show, because it's, we anchored it, but it's all of the people that have stepped inside that studio and all of this stuff. And I don't want to drone on and on and on, man, but I just thought it was important for people that were familiar with the show, that's listening to this, to understand that this has always been the people's show. We've always done it for y'all. And that's not to sound, to sound, I don't even know the word I'm looking for, brother, but just to sound, to exaggerate or however you want to put it, whatever. I can't figure out the proper word, but it's just true. And so I'm thrilled to be doing this. My wife don't know MSR Adam. You know what I'm saying? Like she never, you know what I mean? So I'm thrilled for this. I'm thrilled to keep this going, for my kids to see it, for my wife to see it, to have that joy. And the most important thing before I turn it over to you and LT, this goes to you as well, and the crew, Nargis, Clarence, and Sleepy Chris, and everybody. I missed getting up with my friends and recording and talking shit with my friends.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy that all of y'all agreed to do this, man. I could cry. So thank you, brother. That's why I wanted to bring it back. Pete, talk to
him. We have had the ability over the years to bring forth some serious conversations. It's funny that we're relaunching, and as we can sit back and look, bro, like we've had the opportunity to work with so many people. A little later on, you guys are gonna hear an interview with one of our great friends and somebody that's been a contributor with us since the very beginning. Yeah. I've watched businesses get launched. We have friends that are doing big things, like, so that for our area, for the DMV area, I know we may not be the biggest thing known nationwide, but for DC and Maryland and for our area, Mindstream Radio gave us the ability to connect with a lot of local people that are making moves.
One thing, and we rolling. One thing I didn't mention, and this is how we got to get our legs back under just a little bit. Y'all go out to bed with us just a little bit to get the legs. I did not say like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on a podcast platform, on your favorite podcast platform, we appreciate you. Go ahead and leave a comment. rate the podcast, all of that stuff, man. Those things matter. And if you can, please join our Patreon. We're gonna have all sorts of behind the scenes videos and extra bonus videos for you, and all sorts of perks and all that. The perks for the Patreon for Patreon members, because we got a couple of members on there. We want to let it build up just a little bit more. We'll start next week. Okay, perks start next week. All right. You know, man, we are back, and we're very happy to be back. It's been 7 years, I guess it's been my math. Right. 7 years. It's been a long time, and a lot has happened. So with that being said, let's get to our first topic, LT.
All right, fellas. So as we all know, there's a lot going on in the world today. Some good, some bad, but today we're going to focus on the good. So we're going to try to think of the 3 top good things that have happened since 2018.
Oh boy. Now that's tough. That's tough. The funny thing about it, while you think, P, I'll vamp a bit. The funny thing about it is that, and obviously we talked about this before him, you know, but the reason why we thought this was interesting is because first we were going to do the top 3 worst things that's happened since 2018. Thought that was a little morbid, obviously, but it's difficult to think of great things that have happened since then, because quite frankly, the world has been a shit show since really we were on air. When we were on air, Donald Trump was president. Now that we back, Donald Trump is president again. Boy. Think about that. Think about what in 2016 when that man got elected. Think about it. We in 2025, about to be in 2026 fairly soon. That's 10 years. Did you think that this man would still be the president if we can go back to 2016? I don't mean he would be in his 3rd term. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it would be like,
I would hope that it wouldn't, but we are where we are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, a lot of stuff has happened since 2018. COVID, racial uprisings, all sorts of really negative things. It is difficult to think of 3 things, but I will start.
Go ahead. Okay? I got my 3. Good.
Okay. So 1 is personal. 2 are, you know, pop culture-y, national, you know, of the earth. My number 1 my number 3 best thing to happen since 2018, okay, is the rise of the digital concert series.
Woo!
One really, really cool thing that came out of COVID in particular, when we were all sitting down. It started with Versus. Okay? It started with Versus. Versus came around. Everybody started going live. DJs started mixing on using Instagram Live and stuff like that, and streaming, and the whole streaming thing rose out of that, right? And a lot of streamers and a lot of corny stuff came out of the streaming, you know, boom, to be honest with you, right? That's, we keep it honest. And the podcast boom. Let's just be real. Right?
Very much so.
One of the coolest things, and something that's still around, okay, is the rise into perfection of the digital concert series. So we talking about the Front Porch with Nucci, who will be on the show at some point. Okay. Versus is gone, but when Versus was doing this thing, it was super fun. It was must-watch TV. It was appointment viewing. It was cool as hell. Okay. We're talking about the Tiny Desk. We're talking about, what's the joint? I wish I could remember the name, when my man drives around the Cadillac and people just kind of like rap the Cadillac.
The car concert series. I know exactly.
Car concert series, man.
Car karaoke.
Car karaoke, all of that. And I'm going to tell you why I love this thing and why it's number 3 on my particular list. And the reason why I think it's dope and it's number 3 on my list is because it gave flowers, and it gives flowers to artists that wouldn't normally get flowers. You know what I mean? Like Versus, I don't think understood what it had. Versus was so focused on getting bigger and bigger and bigger, you know, getting the biggest artist to go against the biggest artist. I don't think they realized we loved it when it was like, and Snoop gets flowers, but when it was DMX versus Snoop, or the Lock versus Dipset. Bone versus 3-6 and
that Joe Ja Rule.
Fat Joe, Ja Rule, Monica, Brandy. Like
Mm-hmm.
this is what we, the Isley brothers and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like this is what we. That's what they had, and I think that Tiny Desk and Front Porch for sure,
Mm-hmm.
really focuses on artists that were hot at a certain time, or and a lot of new artists too. Don't get it twisted, and they get who they can. Hey, if Jay-Z called Nucci and Bread and say I'm down, Jay-Z
They'll
gonna
be
let
there.
Jay-Z go home, right? But I think that's what's really dope about that one. So number 3 on my list is the rise of the digital concert series. I think it's super cool, and I encourage anybody that has an idea for like a live concert series or just a digital concert series, have a creative way you can do it. I encourage you to do it because
Totally agree with that.
we need that. P, what's your number 3?
Totally agree with that. Honestly, all of mine are fairly cheap, but my number 3 is most of mine are personal, but my number 3 can be summed up very easily. It's called Five. It's called Five. So if you're not from the area, and hold on, let me lean that way a little bit.
I
You
know
know
what
what
you're
I'm
getting
saying?
at. Yeah,
Let me lean that way a
yeah.
little bit. My number 3 greatest thing that's happened since 2018 is JD5, baby. And understand what I'm saying. Obviously, I'm a hometown sports person. Obviously, I just mean for the morale, for the camaraderie, and for all the fans that are 30s and under. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy for this area thrives a lot better when our football team and I really mean it for solely for the area and for those fans when we're not a shamble or a joke or
Yeah.
it just boosts everything. It unbeknownst to all the things that are going on that we're going to be discussing later on, that
Yeah.
for the morale of this city and for all of those fans whom frankly have been faithful for the past 25, 26, 27 years when we've absolutely sucked. My number 3 is JD5 and the new regime for the Washington Commanders.
All right. That's a good one. That's a good one. I thought about putting that in there, but I ain't want to be because I got such a these next two are kind of personal, so I ain't want to, But yeah, definitely JD5, definitely Josh Harris and the Washington. The whole. If you live here, you understand. If you're a fan of NFL, you understand that why that's a big deal. We don't gotta get into that. Paul just explained it beautifully. My number 2 is very general, and it's black people kept fighting. Okay. The thing I love to see since 2018 and going back, especially gearing up for the revamp of the show, going back and listening to old shows and getting a little depressed at times because it's like, damn, we was talking about that in 2012 and
Mm-hmm.
it's still going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it was real
Mm-hmm.
easy to get into like, man, then what's the point, right? But I the fact that after all of the stuff that we've been going through for a decade plus, and winning a victory. So if we did this in 2020 or 2021, we'd be saying, "Oh, Joe Biden won, Kamala's vice president." We'd be celebrating, but then we have these highs, right? We get a win, then we get a win, then we get a reminder, right? But we never stop fighting. But on top of our continuous urge to fight, I want to add a two B into my number 2. We are starting to care about our peace and maintain our collective mental health. We're picking our fights. Talking to Tony a little bit later, he's gonna bring that up. Okay, we picking our fights. We fighting smarter, I think. Right? We're getting a little more hip, and that is a true evolution from where we were, or we were beginning to get there. Black Lives Matter and all these things were starting to get
Yes.
there, but I think fine tuned. So we kept fighting, and that is my number 1 social issue that's happened since 2018, and my number 2 on my list. We kept fighting and we continue to fight. Go ahead, P. What's your number 2?
I totally agree with that. My number 2 honestly is social awareness and creativity. Right now, you already touched on the explosion of all the things that, like, obviously the global pandemic was terrible. And amongst the global pandemic, we had civil unrest. We had all the things that happened with George Floyd. We had all of the things that happened with the multiple things that caused the world. Because we're at a standstill, it caused the entire world, to reflect on things that I think that had been overlooked, right? Had been over. Mind you, it hadn't been a plight that we have ever forgotten, or a plight that we have not been, boots on the ground in fighting. But I think that having that element of global look, to whereas we're able to explain things better to kids, we're able to break certain things down, because as we see just what the different things that have happened just in these 5 years, we went from that, like Black Lives Matter Plaza is destroyed now. It's literally gone.
Yeah.
So between that short period of time, things have so drastically changed. I'm appreciative for all the people, especially of what you were talking about, of our hue and others that have learned of the plight of certain Americans, and that have joined that plight since then. And like I said, because we can see how what you were just talking about, how things have boomeranged right back into quite a crazy place. Yeah. So I appreciate that element of ideology, and I appreciate all the creativity, all the lemonade that was made out of these lemons that were thrown our direction.
Love it. All right, here we go. My number one. Very, very personal, but I'm going to expand it a little bit. Number one, I got married, I had a kid, I bought a house. Okay? Shouts out to my beautiful wife, Jen. She'll be on the show, matter of fact.
Absolutely beautiful wife.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you saying that. Watch your mouth.
No. I'm saying you're very blessed. I'm overtly surprised, but you're very.
Hey, don't be flirting with my wife. No, but thank you, pretty seriously. No, my beautiful wife, and she's a housing advocate. So when we talk about that, she'll be on the show. She's dope. You all follow me. You seen my wife, man. My children, love my children. I'm blessed. I love my kids. I'm a girl dad and a boy dad, but I am a girl dad for real, and I love that. And that's great. But I want to stretch that out a bit, okay? Because it's not just me. People have grown since 2018 in their own way. Shouts to Nargis. She's married with a child. Okay. Shouts out to Anwar and the way he grew his business. Shouts out to Nick Charles and all of the accomplishments he's had. Shouts out to who am I forgetting? Shouts out to Isha, who just got married.
Come on.
Okay.
Come on.
And she'll be joining us at some point. Man, I know I'm forgetting people, but the bottom line is that no one stayed stagnant. Not even the people on this screen. LT's been doing amazing things since the show ended. Incredible things. We're so happy to have him on. Everybody has been evolving. So it's not just that I got married and had kids, it's that we have grown. And I think that's going to reflect in this show, all of our growth and where we are as people. We're not the people we were in 2015, 16, 17. We're definitely not the people we were in 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? But we certainly aren't the people that we were in 2018. The core of us, the soul of us is still the same. We still be joning and making fun, and we couldn't even finish this without joning on each other. The camera went out twice, and these fools was joning the whole time. Okay, but we have so much more experience and just beautiful life, just goals being hit. It makes me so happy and so proud for Ashley got married. Also to people, man. I could go on and on and on about people who kids and married and all that. So that's my number one, the growth of the MSR tribe and where everybody is at, and that we're not looking back at anybody and going, damn, man, that's I hope you know what I mean? We're not doing that, and that's the thing. What's your number one, Pete?
I'm right along those same lines. For one, my first grandchild was born in 2020. Literally. Yep. You know what I'm saying? August 10th, 2020. He was born. I now have 3 grandchildren.
Yeah.
I'm
Tell that boy slow down.
I'm so blessed. I'm so overtly glad. Like it's a whole nother feeling, bro. And the fact that we're this blessed, and everyone in my family is healthy. All of my grandchildren are healthy. Shout out to Malachi. Shout out to Aurora. Shout out to Adelaide. Love all of you guys. My son is very productive. My son, you watch my son grow up. You know what I'm saying? He's 26.
The whole MSR tribe watched him grow up.
You know what I'm saying? 100%. 100%. He's 26 years old now, and he can, take a chill. My grandkids are birthdays are 2 weeks apart, and I'm I do a lot of traveling and a lot of money spending. Yeah. But I'm happy for that. But incorporated with that, bro, I am happy to have been involved in your wedding. You know what I'm saying? And I have to let the people know about this story. It was a very, very tumultuous day for me. This is literally in the middle of the pandemic. Literally, this man got married in the middle of the pandemic. Yeah. We were supposed to be there at 2:00, right, Adam?
I guess.
Yes, we were there at 2.
Today's a blur.
Paint this picture for you MSR crowd. So I obviously, for those that don't know, if you're a new guest, I am a C4 through C6 quadriplegic. I am paralyzed from my mid chest down. I got in a car accident in 2001, broke my neck, severed my spinal cord, paralyzed, yada yada yada. You know what I'm saying? My hands look like this.
Why would you do that?
I had to.
We was being serious. Go and tell your story, man.
The black power fist.
You know what I'm saying? Right, permanent.
So that day, man, I'm sitting there trying to get an Uber and all the things that Uber has it now. So they have what's called an Uber Wave. You can call it the vans have lifts. They have everything that I need to get in there. The day of this man's wedding, I got my tuxedo on, half of the tuxedo. The jacket is chilling because I'm not trying to get nothing messed up. Calling Uber, calling over. Nothing. So I'm sitting there literally in the middle of my street, bro. LT pacing back and forth. Nothing is happening. Nothing. And I'm like, it ain't no way in the world that none of these things are picking up. I have to get on. I need to be. I'm trying to go through everything. If I take the bus now, how long does it take me to get there? If I do this, how long does it take me to get there? If I do this, how long? So I'm trying to. I go up the street. In my neighborhood, there's a group home, like where they take care of people and all those things. They have a van. Mind you, this is still the middle of the pandemic, right? I'm throwing every stone possible, LT. I'm trying to figure out anything that I can do. You know what I'm saying? So I go and I talk to the lady. I'm like, hey, you guys have this van here. I will pay you $100, $200. I just need to get to the Jefferson Memorial. Like, I'll pay you. Lady quickly closes the door in my face swiftly. Not even like acknowledging what I'm talking about. She looked at me, closed the door in my face. That's literally what happened. I'm just like, damn. I'm trying to figure it all out. I'm going through milling everything over in my mind. I'm like, Dad, you can throw me on the back of this truck. You can do whatever you need to do. I am not about to miss my man's wedding. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there trying to figure out. I was like, Pop, throw me in the car and bring my chair in the truck behind me. You know what I'm saying? That's all I came up with. Call one of my homies. Bro, I need your help. Mind you, I'm already I didn't call Adam. Like, I ain't let Adam know I'm having all these troubles. I'm having all this. I'm sitting here trying to figure all this out. Call one of my homeboys. Say, bro, I'm gonna need your help. Help you get me in the car with my dad. Help get me in there. And, and we're going to just bring the chair with me. Call ahead to our other friend, Shannon. Hey, bro, when I get there, I'm going to need you guys' help getting out the car, getting back in my chair, doing all that. Mind you, I don't want to say nothing after his date. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want nothing to go wrong. All that stuff happens. God is so great. We get in the car. My dad follows me behind there. We get to the venue. As I'm getting there, LT, his wife is just showing up. Everybody had Uber trouble that day. Everyone. Yeah. She literally, as I'm getting leaned back in my chair, getting my jacket put on, getting straightened out, looking crazy in the middle of everything, doing all that stuff, she just pulls up and I look up and I'm like, Jen, you have no idea what I've been going through to get here, but I'm here. We're here. Everything went off one of the most beautiful weddings I've ever been a part of. And I'm telling you, LT, I was sick in this street of it. In my mind, I'm thinking, if I miss my man's, like I I cannot believe I'm here. I'm totally dressed. I've done everything that I need to do. And it ain't like we can, wrap it up and do this again next week or something.
Right, yeah. We'll do it next week. It's all good.
But everything worked out wonderfully, man. I was able to go there, and I'm talking about the weather work. Right before his wedding happened, it rained out that junk terribly. And you would think that the ground was horrible, that it would be wet and all that. Everything worked out wonderfully for that day, man. And some 5 years later, we still here.
Still here.
With the new addition. August, what's happening, baby? Kai, what's happening, my man? Y'all already know what time it is.
Shouts out to the kids, man. So, man, that's our top 3 things. T, you got any moments that you wanted to shout out over since 2018? Good moments since 2018?
I can think of some. First of all, Paul, that was a great story. I just want to say, at least you were invited to the wedding. In my
hey, bro, that's only because of the pandemic, bro. Don't even do it.
Only
because about to say it was like 7 people at my wedding, bro.
Don't even do it. It was only the pandemic. That was it. The wedding was all outside, by the way.
No consideration in inviting your boy LC.
That seems like a low point.
I'm about to say, come on, man, be positive.
Exactly. Now that I got the negativity out the room. But, I guess I would say number 3 would definitely have to be just what came out of COVID. Not COVID itself, because as we know, that was that was a global tragedy. You know what I'm saying? Something that should never happened, should never transpired, but it did. And what we got out of it, like y'all said, the digital concerts, a lot of jobs were doing stuff from home, which we found out a lot of this stuff that we do can be done at home. You know what I'm saying? People had more time to themselves. For an introvert, or I'm an omnivert, so I could do whatever. But I will say that I am like at least 60% introvert. For people like us, it's like, oh man,
beautiful.
Being able to stay solitude is fucking great.
Oh man,
exactly. So I just think that was like one of the good things that came out of COVID, and also just like learning about diseases and kind of like how to prevent them and how to prevent spread, wearing the mask and stuff. That's something that's been around for years, but we never really thought about it until it happened to us. So now we wear our masks to either prevent ourselves from getting COVID from others, or from spreading COVID to others, or even any other disease. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good thing that came out of it. Number 2, I would just say like a lot of the mindless television.
The resurgence of mindless TV.
I'm just saying movies, TV shows, like a lot of the stuff that was like Netflix originals, Hulu originals, like Disney Plus got their own streaming service during COVID. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so much that came out of that time span over the last 7 years, like y'all said, and I just think there was good, there was bad, but we got the opportunity to watch it all. You know what I'm saying? We're watching it, we're like, oh, this sucks. But then you come out with something else. It's like, oh man, this shit was a classic. The difference between Squid Games and Love Island. You know what I'm saying? At least in my opinion.
Both phenomenons, by the way.
Love Island is like, what the fuck is this shit? But and then number 1 is a personal one as well. Just all the things that, like you said, like we've personally accomplished over the years. I mean, in the time since 2018, I got my trainer's license certification.
Let's go.
I got that during the height of COVID. So just doing that. Things like I went back to I took a lot of classes. Shout out to the bakery. But I took a lot of classes for cinematography,
Yes,
things like
sir.
that.
Honing your craft.
Exactly. I met up with some people through Leon. So shout out to Leon, Cardo, Chase, all those good people that work on the Brotherland
Yep.
YouTube series. Go check it out if you haven't already
For
checked it
sure.
out.
For sure.
There's so much that has happened. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, not just me, but you guys. Adam. I don't know how he did it, but he not only got married, but he got someone to have a child.
With
You
him.
know?
With him.
Congratulations, my
Incredible
boy.
feats. Incredible
Hey,
feats.
A miracle happened, and congratulations, my
shouts
boy.
out to Brother Smooth, who got a little one too.
Yes, indeed.
Exactly,
Yes,
brother.
indeed.
Got a little one.
Man.
Like you said, Nargis.
Yeah.
Like
Whole lot of rumbling in the jungle going on.
Yeah. COVID, man.
Leon doing his thing too. Like
Yeah.
everybody has been
Yeah.
doing great things.
Yeah.
Paul, I know you've been doing great things yourself, man. You know what
Bro,
I'm saying?
I'm grateful, man. I'm so happy for, like I said, the show has helped birth so many things. Shout out to our man Kevin, who actually works with the Front Porch series, providing all the food for Legacy Carryout.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like all of our folks that we've just had the opportunity to contribute to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just grateful for that, and to have the show have a thumbprint in all of those things just makes us feel good, because our ultimate goal, man, was honestly, like Adam said, to do something for the people, to bring voices to help spread voices that aren't always heard. And I think this revisit, since we've been gone, everybody and their mother has a platform, which is not a problem. I'm not beefing with that at all. But I think that we just wanted to come back and reestablish the things that we had to say, and contribute the way that we contribute, and keep trying to add to this, and leave something, especially with the climate that's now, leave something digital for our kids to listen to and to see, and something, because they are trying to erase things. So we have to help continually cement the proper elements of legacy, because I don't know what it's going to look like in another 15 years.
No doubt. No doubt. So here we are, and the show is here. Good list, LT. Good list, P. More good memories to be made, and we got a good memory coming up next, like right now. We got a dope interview. We're about to talk to Tony Lewis Jr. about what's been going on in Washington, D.C. D.C. is in essentially a police state right now. And we're gonna learn all about it. And we're gonna get down to it and really learn some truth for one of the true leaders in Washington, D.C. Somebody I
On the
really
grind.
respect. Yeah, Mr. Tony Lewis Jr. coming up right now. Tony Lewis Jr., what's happening, sir?
What's up, bro? What's happening, man?
Hey, man. Yeah, yep. It's good to see you. Official first guest on the revival of the Mindstream / MSR podcast.
We go way back, so I'm proud.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. Yeah,
happy to have you, man. Happy to have you. You got to find happiness in the small things, man. Obviously, we got you on for a reason. You have to be living under a rock to not know what's going on in Washington, D.C. right now. I just want to have a conversation, and I just want to start with this, bro. I am concerned, okay, about National Guard and ICE agents and feds from all over, it seems like, but mainly like red conservative states. Not that, and I do want to say this before we get jumping. The politics of this, we have to discuss on some level, but I'm less concerned about. I'm more concerned about the people of Washington, D.C. And how we keep our head on the swivel with what's going on. And that's why I'm expressing my concern, which is people coming from states under the impression that they have to come save Washington, D.C. or come fix Washington, D.C., which means you have ICE agents, National Guard, feds, all sorts of police, Border Patrol, all sorts of agencies here with a battery in their back, thinking either they're going to be dealing with straight up criminals or radical left protesters that's just going to get in their way. And somewhere sandwiched in between there are people that just want to be saved from these two wild groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion on it. Tone, I just want to kind of get your thoughts as obviously a native Washingtonian, obviously somebody that cares very much about the city and the people of the city. What's your scope of what's going on right now in DC?
Yeah, man. I mean, first, I just want to start my comments by saying that this is completely unprecedented, right? And in my opinion, unnecessary. I personally don't think that. Well, I'm gonna start at the National Guard piece. I just don't ever feel like American troops should be used on American soil against other Americans in the way that is being proposed that the Guard would be used here or is being used here. And I think it's been some sort of escalation. And the initial National DC Guard that got activated, they weren't armed. And so now we have National Guard members from Ohio, South Carolina, West Virginia, Mississippi, and Louisiana that are now, coming into the city, and I'm hearing that they will be armed. Armed to do what is still rather vague and ambiguous at this point. Yeah. But then additionally, you have sort of the full brevity of federal law enforcement. So you have agents from all the different federal agencies that are now patrolling the streets, along with the Metropolitan Police Department that have been also federalized. So, MPD is now being pretty much given its orders from the Department of Justice. And so, if it was solely about, Adam, you mentioned too, then you got the ICE enforcement as well. So that's sort of aside from the other stuff. The ICE stuff was going on even prior to this. Okay. But of course now the immigration piece is being elevated, and you got these things going on simultaneously, and you got people that are fearful. And then when you talk about, let's be honest, right? When you're talking about criminality, public safety in the District of Columbia, that's remained Chocolate City. Yeah. And so for all of us that are Black in this city, whether you come in the city to visit, to go to dinner, or to go out, or you live here, you're going back to and from work, regardless, subway, walking in the car, whatever, how do you know who the quote-unquote bad guys are? You really don't. So what you gonna do? It's gonna, just like in the past, right? It's gonna be collateral damage, right? But the only thing that's different in this moment from like what we dealt with in the 90s, and all that, the early 2000s. I mean, some of us that been here a long time been through, hyper policing and over policing or whatever. But now you don't even have who the point of contact. Your council member can't help you. The mayor can't help you. You don't know. Even though MPD is like the lead, but we clearly see that it's not in the way in which they're not taking their orders locally anymore. So, so all those things change the dynamics, right? And so there's a lot of laws that MPD had not enforced. The laws were on the books, but they just weren't enforcing them. And so now all of those type of things are being enforced. And I'll just run through a few, like
go for it.
Smoking marijuana in public. Right, we know we marijuana was decriminalized in the District of Columbia, but now under this new sort of federal authority, you can be arrested for that. Open container liquor, you know what I'm saying? Things like gambling, of course, tents on your car, driving without a license, things that people may have looked over or looked past is no longer. That's why the whole and of course, anything that would allow them to search further into homes, all of that stuff. That's why we trying to tell the community, man, don't get taken. Like, be smart, be strategic. Don't get into these verbal back and forths. You can film officers, but from a distance. If they ask you to back up, back up. These are all the things that, and I want us to see this as not submitting to this, but just understanding that you don't want things to escalate to a point where now we can't help you anymore. Like it's not how it once was.
Yeah.
The DC jail is already was, and that's the thing. DC, especially since the secure DC bill got passed last summer, DC really has been cracking down just in general. And so the jail was already full or close to being full, and now so this uptick of all these like frivolous arrests and things like that is going to make jail will be overcrowded or full to capacity. Juvenile facilities the same way. And so what the question becomes, where will people go once the jails are full, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who knows? And so again, we don't want our residents to find themselves in these situations. You got people that are masked up, you don't know who they are, arresting you, you don't know where you going. Like it's just so many variables that I want people to be fully aware of and do their best, right? Because just you can do everything right and still find yourself in a bad situation. But we want to, do control what we can control by moving, strategically and moving in a way in which you everything about you is saying you trying to stay out the way.
I heard you talk about, give a few tidbits and tidbits about the certain things that we can do. I know that there's definite ordinances where when you're on your property, your own, like I wish you could just detail that a little bit further. You talk a little bit about the marijuana laws and all those things, but let them know about your personal property and where the lines of your property ends to where you can be accosted by these people.
Yeah, because in DC, your property gonna start to you in your door. So your porch ain't your property. You know what I'm saying? That's right. So people gotta understand that. And more than likely, people ain't really trying to like come in your yard in the past. But that's what I'm saying. Nothing about like whatever your rights was last week, whatever the protocols were last week. It's not funny, but you got to operate from the standpoint that ain't the way that it is.
Right.
Like that's the safest way, because I really don't know what, of course you got to have a warrant, but if they see, we don't know what they determine the probable cause.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So you just got to really, really, I think the best thing is just don't smoke outside.
Yeah.
Like it should just be, we gotta be, and I'm, I get it, you know what I'm saying? Or don't drink outside. Like you just gotta do the things that are necessary, so we can hopefully get out of this moment, within these 30 days, but it looks like this thing might be extended, you know what I'm saying? Like, but who knows, right? Like, I always believe in the power of the people. I always believe in the power of speaking in one voice and that you'll be heard, So, I think that again, we at least got to try to minimize, but some of these fights, it's just not worth it. It really ain't. It ain't worth. What I'm saying? It's not. Especially for our youngins, man. Our youngins and how they moving. And knowing that our youngers are being used as the cause of why
they are the pawns out here right now. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, very much so.
And then, like I mentioned earlier, there's the other side of that coin, because they're coming here again to stop criminals, but they're also expecting to be stopped by like crazy liberal activists. And a lot of the videos you see, if you follow Washington Problems or any of the the accounts online that's kind of following this and doing the good work, letting people know what's going on. They're doing great work. I found out, I was riding the Metro home today, that there was going to be National Guard on certain Metro rails, and I definitely saw them on Metro rails. So that's part of it, letting people know, hey, they're in Columbia Heights. Hey, they here, they there. Let people know. But out of the goodness of their heart, some people are deciding to go down there and protest, and some people are going down there deciding to go down there and not antagonize. I don't think that's what they're doing at all, but like attempt to ask questions and figure things out. On one hand, I like that, because again, we're getting the information, but I wonder if it's just putting the extra battery in the back of a dude who's already masked up, who's from Arkansas or whatever, and expecting that. And I'm saying that, Antonio, I'd like to know your thoughts on it. I'm saying that because I'm looking at how they're responding. There's a video of a guy going, liberals already, I think the lady said, you're messing up our city or something like that. And then he said something like, liberals already messed up the city. And this is an officer with his face covered.
Yeah.
In political terms to a person.
Yeah, officer using a political term. I thought that was wild. I think see part of the problem too is that for a lot of these people, they see this as just a place that people visit.
Yeah.
I mean, even the president, when he talks about this place, is purely from the standpoint of people that's coming here either to visit as a tourist or coming here to work. But this is this is our
people live
home.
here. Yeah.
You know what I mean? We live here. We're born and raised here. People live. We have our families here.
Yeah.
So I think that alone, even what are you talking about, resident? Whether I'm liberal or conservative, you don't know. But the part of it is you don't care. So people are so dug in, and now this is becoming, our city is becoming sort of the petri dish for these conservative ideals, and part of that in so many ways has been whether it's intended or not, it is from a racial standpoint. And so if you're a white person in DC, then you like a nigga lover. And so that's what liberal really means.
That's it. Let's get down to it. Yes, sir.
And so, it's like, but they ain't going, and I want our people to understand though, I applaud that y'all keep doing, but let them do that because they're gonna shoot us. If we threw the subway sandwich, they would probably air my ass out if I did something like that. So I just want our people to be in it. Everybody got a role to play. But we gotta take care home, and we gotta protect our babies, our families, and we gotta move differently and smarter than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that though it still has to be it has to be conversations. And so I hope that, and since now that if this 30 days or this 30 months, whatever, that now, okay, if y'all running the city and all this, then we need to talk to y'all too. Cause y'all, you gotta open up, we gotta talk, you gotta hear from us, the residents, not nobody, visiting or nobody who just moved. We need to talk to us and the impact that's having on, our city. I mean, $1 billion was taken out of the city budget. You got, I think it was extra 30 million or some stream of dollars that we were supposed to get that we didn't get. Now you got people aren't coming to patronize businesses. So this is you got the federal workers, all the federal workers that live in this region who got fired. So economically, also this city and this region is under attack, and it will have results. How you trying to make this place safer if you're gonna cripple it economically? That don't make sense, right? I'm a public safety professional. I work in public safety from almost from a non-law enforcement end, but it's still about public safety. And we gotta be able to have a conversation about what really makes a community safe. And it really is not. You got some of the most the places with the highest incarceration rates have the highest crime rates. You know what I'm saying? It's not a 1-to-1. It's sort of like you're gonna dominate crime away, or you gonna, and one of the scariest things for me though, really, I think I alluded to it earlier, was that the fact that, seeing federal officers, or maybe we don't see soldiers all the time, but just anything that could be deemed law enforcement, that's not shocking to black people in DC.
Right.
Why? Okay. So that's not having an impact that it probably would have somewhere else. Like, it's been, for most people, the trauma of their lives, the struggle of their lives is blinding to sort of the grander, the real gravity of this moment. So to me, that's also alarming, because I know what that can, people just outside, they doing what they do. They living their lives like they've been living it. And so it's like, but I think that just puts them even more in the bullseye. That's why I've been just pushing the don't get taken thing just so extremely hard, because I want to try to put that in people's psyche, because this is a moment where that can really happen. Yeah,
it's accurate. I think about it from a national sense. It's and maybe the tone has switched a bit, you know, in more recent days as more footage has come out and more images have come out. But in the beginning, I think people kind of looked at it like, oh, it's just a distraction. I'm talking about from a national, other people talking about this, right? Oh, it's just to cover up the Epstein thing. He's just doing this. And what concerned me was that they were kind of comparing it to what happened in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
In Los Angeles was a short-term thing. It was, you know,
There's
I'm
things
sure
he
they
just
didn't.
can't do. He can't do what he could do here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I wonder what people can do from a national standpoint to influence a bit more, or should they be taking this a little more seriously? And I just want to get both of y'all opinions on this. Tony, I'll start with you, and then you can jump in there. Do you think that people nationally are taking this seriously and feel the urgency, or do they look at it like Trump being Trump? It's just political. The people of D.C., crime isn't really that high in D.C. anyway, so the National Guard will just be sitting around doing nothing.
No, I think they think that. I think some people think the crime is that heavy, and that some people support that he's doing. Some black people too, low key.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
black people
facts.
here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I will say though, what people can do, and I think some people are concerned. I think people also see how this might become. It might be in DC now, but it might come to
He's
your
already
state or
talking
your
about
city.
it.
Right.
Yeah, but I think people need to contact, their congressional members, because this is not American, right? Like I'm not, like nobody is saying don't enforce the laws, like that. That ain't this, but this is un-American, right? And this should not be happening on American soil. You should not be unleashing, the National Guard on American citizens.
Yeah.
But I don't think whatever the crime that's happening here is not to the level that any of this is warranted.
No.
We had crime and all that, but DC wasn't like you couldn't walk down the street.
Right.
And then what I have to say, you get, you got hundreds of black victims. You know what I mean? And then you get a victim that and then now you got to bring the National Guard. Like, just think about what that says.
Yeah.
But then people act like the term Black Lives Matter was crazy, but it wasn't. This is the point we're making. Like, when something happened to us, it's like it's par for the course.
Right.
But but that's we even tell our kids that we tell them don't touch the white people, and you see what.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to trivialize it, but that's
real. I mean, real talk.
Real talk.
The thing is, like, I just like you were talking about, Tony. I obviously we're all inundated with social media. It's just that it's a part of it's a for certain elements a good thing, for some other elements it's absolutely horrible thing in the elements of thought, right? So you have people that are of our hue that think, mind you, let's get this out the way. None of us want crime. Who wants crime? Like
we all want to be
wants
safe.
Any element of crime? So let's knock that completely off. To whereas we think like someone wants to champion for crime. None of us want it. But like something that you alluded to earlier, Tony, when other things were happening, when mayors and different people were calling for extra help, when the crime was rampant up against our people, when different things were happening, that completely got ignored and completely overlooked. And mind you, I'm not saying that any person should get mugged or anything like that. But one person that someone knows gets mugged, and now we have the whole National Guard here under a farce of crime. Because in truth, like I wouldn't put anything past any element of nefariousness for these people. We've already seen how they tried to come and completely gentrify the city, and let's not act like in years past we haven't seen this whole crime thing to devalue a place so other people can come in and buy that land.
Yeah, facts. Facts. Yeah, I 100%. And what's ironic is some of the places that are sitting the National Guard have extremely high crime rates, right? Like terrible crime. And they're red states with red governors and all of this stuff. So it's all, I mean, there's things outside of the National Guard showing up here and other agencies showing up. What's happening with the Smithsonian? What's happening with the Kennedy Center? There's a obvious goal to transform the city and or break the back of the citizens
in
of
the country
city.
too. Like I just think
I agree.
not to jump in. I'm just saying though, not just hit. I mean, this is really like I'm saying. This is like the model for like what this is. What they believe should happen in the country will certainly happen.
Yeah.
Here, right. You got this the capital.
Yeah.
This is
because it's the easiest place to do it. Yeah, it's the easiest place to do it, and that's what's concerning to me is that's why I bring up national media and national and you're right, Tony. I've been concerned with the debate about it, right? Like, well, maybe the crime could be, and let's keep it real. We all from DC. We all lived in DC our whole lives, or around DC our whole lives, in DMV, right? We remember the spotlights being out.
In Marbury Plaza when it happened.
Yeah, I remember it was in Trinidad about 10, 15 years ago. They had the spotlights out, the checkpoints and all that. These things happened before, and they don't work, right? So if you just look at it and on just like, if I just take it at face value and just go, okay, I believe you're trying to stop crime, which I don't, okay? But I'll just give you the benefit of the doubt. I will say that your tactics don't work because they've been tried before, right? And they certainly don't need to be deployed all over the city. It makes no sense, right? So what, Tony, do you think, because there are areas of the city that have higher crime than other parts of the city. There's every city in America, there's every place in America, every place in the world, right? Those places that may have a bit more trouble than other, if you could talk to President Trump or whoever, and they came to you and said, Mr. Tony Lewis Jr., we know your reputation, we know what you're about. What would you suggest we do to help fix certain places in the city that are high on crime?
Yeah, it'd be very simple, man. Build systems of economic stability. It'd be very simple. It's basic. It's super basic. Like real strong systems towards economic stability for those communities, right? And anybody who ain't want to get on board with that, then law enforcement could do what they have to do. But the reality of it is, people want opportunity. Everybody ain't just because they think it's cool, And we've seen that. We got the ecosystem for all other things. We got the supports. We got the behavioral health. You know what I mean? We got all that. But we just need the real opportunity, real jobs, real career opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities, man. We got a stadium about to be built in our city. We need people, no matter if they got backgrounds or not. We need people to be able to participate in a very intentional way, not like, oh well, they can just in a very focused, like we focus this law enforcement. Where's the economic outreach with that same fervor aimed at them same communities, man? Really, and that's what the Native Washington, the Black Native Washingtonian has been consistently left out, and then blamed when they, they don't want to do nothing. Well, I work in this though. I know I know that's not true. You know what I'm saying? People trying, but the pathways aren't there enough. You know what I'm saying? And I would say, and I've been saying that, so that ain't a break from nothing I've been saying. But I would love to have that conversation, on that level, and because I really don't believe that it's being had. I just don't.
It can't be. It can't be. Yeah, like one of the first things, and again, this is all we know what was really going on. But if we just assume and be naive and say they were really trying to figure, one of the first things I would want to see is a meeting amongst leaders in Washington, Washingtonians that are community leaders and activists and whoever, business leaders, the police chief sitting in the White House. We haven't seen any of that. All you did was when your boy Big Balls. Yeah. Okay. By the way, his name is Big Balls. As a president that calls him this, got mopped up. Yeah. You freaked out, and you were going to freak out anyway. You just was waiting for something to happen so you can do this. And part of it is a distraction for whatever might be what was going on with you. But either way, I don't appreciate, as a resident of Washington, D.C., sitting in D.C. right now, I don't appreciate being your guinea pig or your plaything to show the rest of the world what you can and cannot do if they don't leave you alone about a political mess, about Putin or about Epstein or whatever else might be going on. And I think part of it is saying these things out loud, especially some of the national people that are talking about this or people that have the opportunity to speak nationally. We have to just keep it real. We got to say what this is. We can't play that game where we kind of, well, maybe this is for this and that. No, it's what it is.
And I do want some of these national folks though to chill on. They need to talk to us more too because, like these not dumb. I think it plays into the narrative. Like, so they'll say stuff like, "It's checkpoints at Howard," right?
Right,
and it is. But also Howard is adjacent to U Street on one side.
Yes,
a prime area, nightlife area that a lot of crime happens. And then you got Detroit Park on the backside.
Yeah.
So that's not a strong argument because the law enforcement folks gonna say, but it's not really about how it just happens to be in this area. Another thing that I saw where they talked about, well, they ain't locking up no white people. Well, that's not new. No white people get locked. We don't even have poor white people. See, people don't get that. Like, it's no white people never go to jail. It's like 1.5% of our jail population is white.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Only about 3 or 4% of it is Latino.
Right.
We got the most thriving Latino population in America in the District of Columbia.
Yeah.
But people outside, so like it is gonna be all black. That's what it always is. You know what I'm saying? So that it doesn't have and it's like I just see how that can be counterproductive in you trying to say, but that's why nobody takes it seriously. It's so clearly that you're trying to make it be something.
Yeah.
But just tell the truth. You don't need to be alive.
That's it. You need to have Washingtonians.
Just say it plainly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
you need to have natives talking about the city. In a time like this, needs to be people, and again, popular podcasts, I'm not going to call them out because I like them. But when the thing was going on in LA, they had someone from LA come on and say, this is what's going on in LA. And ultimately the answer was, it's not that big of a deal. When he talked about Washington, God bless him, it was, this is Trump doing what he got to do. And home rule, they explain home rule and all that. But it just sort of like, anyway, moving on to the next subject. Yeah. No person from Washington, D.C. was asked to be on that podcast. They ain't reach out to Tony. You know what I mean? They may talk to Mayor Bowser, which is a good thing to do. That's the mayor of the city. I understand talking a bit, but like, hey, I'm not calling nobody out. I'm just saying, Breakfast Club got your number, bro.
Yeah, no question. No,
you know what I'm saying?
No question about that. And just of course, she the mayor, right? And she should have been on there. But the resident gonna have a different
outlook.
Feel. You could have been like, Bo, why not? Why not have it? Yeah, exactly.
Because she got to say what she got to say. And again, I'm not about to make this about the mayor.
Not at all. Not at all.
But she got to say what she got to say because she got to,
a job to do.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you something too.
There's a job to do.
And this ain't. For sure. And I know, like, for real, man. I feel bad for all of us. Like, we all share how we feel. That's how she feel. Like, we might not agree on everything, but one thing I do know is that she love this place, and like to really have this place taken. Yo, like for real, like she the mayor, bro. You couldn't imagine somebody calling you up and telling you your
you ain't man no more, basically.
I mean,
you ain't man no more. You just got the stadium. You just been celebrating. You ain't man no more because somebody I know get beat up on, and it is what it is. I don't care.
That's really, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like, man. So I hope that this moment for all of us, though, as a community, right? No matter what all of us have our niche and our demographic that I hope this brings people together. If nothing else, just to be more concerned about each other, man. Especially in this particular moment. Like, we need each other. We need to lean in on each other, man, for sure.
Hey, bro, I appreciate you, man. I really do.
Good job, man, for sure.
Really do, man. Hey, keep spreading the message. We're going to do the same. It's a weird time, but we people of God, and we're going to get through this, man. We're going to get through this for sure, bro.
Y'all be safe, man. Don't get taken.
Keep your voice out there, Tony. We appreciate so much everything that you do, man, and keeping the people informed, bro, and just letting them know that I think it's definitely going to be our community and us not sabotaging ourselves within all the nonsense that they have going on that's going to help us. I don't think there's any other course of action, because I think Agent Orange is going to be him and going to do him, period. Like the people already voted him in. So now we just have to make the best of what's going on.
It's real, bro. It's real.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to talk to you again, brother.
I no doubt. Peace
All
out.
right, bro.
Big shout outs to Tony Lewis, man. Follow that man, Mr. Tony Lewis Jr. We're gonna have him back on the show. Tony's been on the show millions of times. He's been on my personal, my older pod that I did after MSR, but Tony's just accessible, and we always appreciate him, man. Definitely.
Salute, sir.
For sure. We're about to wrap up. If you all don't mind, give me a moment. I want to say rest in peace to my man London Christopher Fogg, aka Sincere. I want to send my condolences to the entire Loading Snacks team. Just real quick, found out on this past Saturday that London passed away. It was a tough night for me, man. I can't lie. I've known London since I was about 16 years old. Shouts out to Zern, his brother. Me and Z were super close in high school. Don't talk as much now. I'd like to change that. So Z, if you're listening, man, I'd like to get up with you. Shouts out to Spade. Shouts out to Gage. You all know these people. They've been on this show. LT knows them well. He does the cons with them and hangs with them, man. We all a big family. And Loaded Snacks is definitely like our brother show. I've done Loaded Snacks a bunch of times. Always a pleasure to do that show. Hope to continue to do that show. But I just wanted to really say, man, London, bro, like I think about, London was always Zaren's big brother. And I think about going over in Treetop, his apartment out in Treetop, and going over there and watching like WrestleMania with London, watching like DX and like The Brood. Remember like The Brood and all this like weird, The Rock and everybody. Like, that Attitude Era of WWE, and I was really into it because London was into it and Zaren was into it. And London was always very welcoming to me. And, the Loaded Snacks thing happened, and they were always just like open doors, and I get to like really express that geek side. They sent me to BlurCon for the first time, ran into LT there, and my wife with me, and my daughter was in the stroller. My brother-in-law, shouts out to Mikey, by the way. But London, man, this one hurt. This one hurt. And they just did a live stream for you on Loaded Snacks. I was watching it before we got on air tonight. They honored you well. They will continue to honor you well. I will continue to honor you well. I love you, brother. I wish I would have told you more while you were here. And that's one thing I want to say to the audience. Let's not be saying that anymore, man. Mm-hmm. I thought I wouldn't be saying that anymore. For real. But I never told London how much I admired him, how much I admired the entire crew, how at times I would be burnt out and not want to do any of this anymore. And they would do an episode of Loaded Snacks, and I would go, man, whatever. They doing it, I can still do it. And I appreciate you, bruh. And I hope you rest well. Hope you're up there with your mom. And love to your whole family and love to the entire Loaded Snacks team, man. I just want to say that real quick.
100.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. New show next week with the whole crew. Like, subscribe, do all of that stuff, man. We appreciate you. And remember, never, ever, ever forget to be great.
Elevate us.